putting yourself out there. These middle of the map proxy players, like, if they get their proxy gates scouted by a Terran player just scouting the middle for those proxy gates, like, I don't feel bad for you, right? Because you were trying to like just put it in the average spot. You're not committing to one of the spots. So we'll see if Dandy keeps scouting that middle, because if he does it this time, he'll be rewarded.
Yeah, it's most likely gonna happen. Dandy again, gasless expand. Proxy is so good versus a gasless expand build. Now it is only one gate. How will Dandy respond to this? When we saw, I think it was one gate last time. I forget who it was versus, but he did go for 2 racks. But one gate is not a huge commitment from Protoss. It's not like they went 2 gate here. He could transition out of it into just normal play. I feel like TT1 planned this, because every game I've seen of Dandy, he scouts the middle, so it has to be planned. That he expects Dandy to see it.
Well, that looks pretty close to the middle of the map for me, and that's exactly where Dandy sent his SCV. Scouted immediately, and boy, that SCV is just going to town on the pylon. So this is going to be a kind of a lackluster start, but still going to be a little touch and go here as Dandy tries to, hold on. It shouldn't be that difficult. You just put your Marine between the barracks and supply depot, and should be able to hold this off.
Yeah, so here comes that first Zealot. Oh, great SCV control so far. Pulling back. Oh, equaling. Good Zealot and probe control.
BSL.
Now, I do want to point out that SCV in the middle attacking the pylon. I like that, because if you can keep that SCV alive, it can kill the pylon, no joke. And surprisingly, Dandy even kept it alive despite that micro happening at his natural. But what's TT1's follow-up? He's got another pylon going down. That means we're going to keep committing to Zealots. But I feel like Dandy's already survived the pressure. I think that we need to get a Nexus down.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, maybe you come back with that third Zealot, but I totally agree with you, Nyoken. Keeping that SCV attacking the pylon means that when it comes back, it's just like, well, the Zealot's even that much slower. Maybe this is harder to hold, but at this point, you're so delayed that as soon as this bunker gets up, I mean, that's going to be pretty good here for Dandy. Marines are inside. Maybe the Zealots can run through, but he's already lost the probe. He's going to lose maybe even another Zealot. And I don't know, I feel like Dandy's just in a great spot here.
Yeah, this Marine SCV control is incredible. Every time this happens to me, it's almost a free win for the Protoss. I almost lose to this every single time. And then I watch people like Dandy or Flash or whoever do it. They make it look like it's nothing. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? But Dandy's held it perfectly. He's got his command center almost done. The one thing that he doesn't have is his gas. I am a little bit worried about that because we got 400 minerals again. Uh-oh, 2 Zealots have snuck by. But SCVs are here.
Yeah, exactly. And there's the supply depot block at the top of the minerals actually caused TT1 to lose one of the Zealots for free. So now, sure, he's picked off a couple of SCVs here and there, and he's going to finally get a Marine. But these 2 Zealots shouldn't actually get that much damage done, because like you said, Dandy's Marine control has just been amazing. Or as I said, he loses one to the Zealot, but he should be able to take it out here. Yes, just in the nick of time.
Well, these Zealots are dealing a surprising amount of damage now. They've canceled the gas at the natural. They got a few SCVs, got the Marines. That is similar at the assimilator at the back of his base when the Marines went up there. That's something I hate, because as Terran, you're always doing attack move, right? So the Marines, they start attacking the assimilator. If you remember, those Zealots were on the ramp attacking SCVs.
Yeah.
The Marines wanted to come down, but they're sitting there shooting the assimilator. It's so annoying to deal with that. And as a result, because we have no gas for Dandy until now, look how much money he has. He has 600 minerals, but we can't spend it on anything. Meanwhile, TT1's already got his Nexus up. He's going into tech already. Everything's going perfectly for him.
I mean, hey, proxy gate working out. It's one of the things we talked about with Dandy preferring these racks expands. Is that a lot of times you can actually just run into trouble. Now here come these Dragoons, and I'm always really interested in this transition, because a lot of times you kind of take it for granted. You're like, okay, the Terran builds the bunker, puts Marines in the bunker, the Dragoons get ranged, they range the bunker gets repaired, siege mode comes out. But all that's a little bit delayed here because we had such a crazy start. So even though we're getting gas, we're getting our factories up, there's no tanks out. So we're just gonna be hitting that bunker for a while.
Yeah, no tanks. The Dragoons almost have range at this point. TT1's taking a second gas. A lot of times when I see a second gas this early, I would think that we're going into ARB or carrier, but because we delayed our own gas that long, this is just to catch up. So nothing can be, you can't figure it out just yet, but Dandy has snuck an SCV scout in here. He's gonna see that there's no tech. Well, he does see the robotics potentially, but this may trigger alarm bells that TT1 has already expanded, but we know that he hasn't taken a third base.
Yeah, no third bases here, perhaps even in our futures. But TT1 is mining from both of his gas geysers. He forewent this for a long time last time. We'll see what he wants to put all of this extra gas into. Is he just going to be chugging out Dragoons? I guess so for the time being. Here, now range is finished, so he'll finally be able to start hitting that that bunker. But siege mode is just now starting, and up there's that +1 air weapons.
Oh, is he getting air? Yeah, normally when you see gas this fast, it's gotta be some type of tech. So we see Stargate coming in. This is gonna be carriers. You don't normally get +1 weapon if you're going Arbiter. And I'm not sure about this Stargate placement. It could be pretty good because it's more likely that Dandy's gonna scan near the bottom of the base. And you'll see not really anything, but he will see the cybernetics spinning, so it's gonna kind of come back to bite him. But these Dragoons get on top of the bunker! The tank!
Oh no, they're gonna kill the tank! Oh my god, the tank just blows up. That's so bad. He's gonna kill the bunker. He's blocking the SCVs from getting back there. He is losing Dragoons, but he kills the bunker. Oh my god, this is so bad. TT1, the god, busting through, killing the tank, the bunker, the Marines. And now this has just gone from bad to worse for Dandy.
Yeah, and even if this doesn't get a killing blow for the TT1, it's okay. What did he just scan? I heard the scan go off. He scanned the main, so he sees the cybernetics core spinning, so he knows that there's definitely air somewhere. So what is Dandy's response gonna be? There's another factory. He's already got his third command center up, but to be honest, that's dead weight to him right now because there's no way he can push to get his third base with 3 tanks. He's gonna have to wait even longer, which is gonna give TT1 even more time to get this carrier count up.
Yeah, I mean, the ability that Dandy has to deal with carriers at this point is just non-existent. He has no anti-air at all. Okay, he's got 2 Marines. Congratulations. But while Dandy is going to try to get this third base up, yeah, TT1's just going super hard on these carriers. I don't know, this could actually be really, really difficult for Dandy to stop. TT1's doing a great job today.
Yeah, he even has a shuttle because, well, he can't see the gains that we just saw. But look at Dandy. He's trying to put on pressure because he knows Protoss is teching, and they did a big commitment to Dragoons there. But this is probably going to get wiped. There's not a lot of buffer for these tanks. We've got 3 Zealots and a shuttle with 6 or 7 Dragoons here versus 5 tanks and 4 Marines. Dandy needs to turn around, like, now.
If Dandy loses everything that's out here on the map, that is just catastrophe. Here we go, we're gonna drop the Zealots on the back, not really to Bulldog, but just to catch extra damage on these tanks as they retreat. You can just A-move the Dragoons at this point. I mean, that is quite a few tanks, but yeah, TT1, man, I'm saying all the wrong words, doing an excellent job here stopping this push in its tracks.
Oh my gosh, Dandy's control. There's like 3 tanks that are within 1 hit of dying. But Dandy has managed to save them all, and that's critical for him. Well, I don't know about this. Now he's pushing across with very weakened tanks. It looks scary, but because of how softened up they are, they're not that scary. But I guess Dandy's feeling the pressure. He has to do something. He's got 6 factory. His armory was delayed for a long time, so he doesn't even have +1. But look at what TT1 has. He has 1 gate. He's scrambling to get 5 gates up. Really, his only defense are these carriers, and he only has 1.
Yeah, I mean, a nice block, right? It comes through just in the nick of time. It's going to force the tanks to siege. But you're right, he just has nothing else. He's got, okay, 1 carrier. Does it have 1 interceptor or 2? This carrier's so hilarious. I mean, granted, 2 of these tanks have 1 HP, so maybe you can just, kill those immediately. He's not actually targeting that down, so that's a little bit of miss micro. But yeah, once you kill these tanks, he'll be able to hold on. Maybe.
These 2 vultures in the back are in a great position in the tanks. If the Dragoons ever come by, they get killed by these tanks. That's a nice hot pickup from TT1. But look, there's vultures streaming in. There's only 1 Dragoon on the ramp. He's going to lose all his vultures, all his probes.
Yeah, the tanks will go down here, but the vultures are really kind of the nail in the coffin. Sure, the carriers allow TT1 to hang on, but he barely has a third base up at this point. He's taken so much damage. Dandy, looking like his name.
Yeah, we had 90 to 60 supply a moment ago for TT1. Now it's 90 to 80 for Dandy, and Dandy has 4 bases going. He's got 6 factories. He's got +1 pretty soon, no +2. But at this point, doesn't matter. He's going to have so many Goliaths, so much production. And TT1, he's got 5 gate, but he doesn't really have that great of production. He's got good saturation as main as Nat, but he needs his third base going, and there's no probe transfer just yet. Oh my gosh, is Danny gonna take bottom right? He's just exploding everywhere.
What is Danny not taking at this point? He did have that slick little hidden base play in the first series of the night, but wow, he's just really doing it all. It's just like a double expand, almost triple if you count that third. But yeah, Dandy is just in a fantastic spot. This is so sick. How is he able to kind of just right the ship? It's like he's sinking. He's got holes in the ship. He's taking on water, and then he just like, I don't know, has a really powerful desiccant. He's really manufactured a sick comeback here. And now TT1, sick man. You've got 3 carriers. Wow, awesome.
Yeah, but there's just too many Goliaths, and if TT1 hadn't taken so much damage, he could have been building more carriers behind this, but he can't build more carriers. He just doesn't have the money at this point, and 3 carriers is not what you want. And look at how many Goliaths we have for Danny. He's got about 10 right now. That, again, is the 3 to 4 count that you want fighting 3 carriers. So he's going to shut this down easily. Meanwhile, we have more factories down for Danny, 8 factories in total, or 9. This looks exactly like the Yeti game, where he's just hitting the sick timing, keeping Yeti's econ down, and he just goes for the killing move once he hits critical mass.
And keep in mind, I mean, TT1 already kind of a little bit taxed on his economy. He's sacking so many interceptors here. It's just a consistent drain. You have to keep producing interceptors over and over again, and they are not cheap in the long run. So.
Yeah, and these vultures at bottom left, they just wiped the Nexus mineral line again at the third base.
Oh my god. Danny's just so good at multitasking. You got to make sure that you're holding on against the carrier threat. You're getting out there, harassing, laying mines, getting all of your bases up. Wow. Dandy is just killing at this point. And now you're facing off against that impeccable Dandy macro. He's got infinity Goliaths out there. He's just going to be pumping off of, what is this, 9 facts? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 factories. Yeah, nothing's gonna stop this.
Yeah, there's just not enough ground from TT1. We've got 15 more supply for Dandy. He's got more production. We just now started carriers for TT1. If TT1 can buy time again to get 6, he's got a chance, but we've seen that Dandy just doesn't let up on the gas ever. He's everywhere. He's got mines in key position. He's taking bottom right. He's going to be 5 base versus 3 base Protoss. Like, the econ advantage that he has is just ridiculous.
What do you do at this point? You got to try to either go for a Hail Mary. I don't know. How do you stop this?
I think TT1, well, it's too late now. I was going to say I think TT1's got to get stormed, but Dandy's moving out now, so that can't happen. So I don't know. He might have to be like Yeti and try and just draw the army back constantly, but the carriers are already on one side of the map, so he can't draw them out or draw them back. So TT1's probably just going to fight head on, but that's not going to work.
I mean, this is only just +1 mech, so it's not like this is 2-1. Sure, armor's going to be finished here momentarily, but maybe this is a good opportunity. He's going to try to bulldog on the back, dropping the zealots in the back, trying to get on top of the tanks, but wait, is TT1 just going to crush it? What?
Yeah, he's just got too much ground somehow, and now he killed the army. So
Hello?
They've reset, and there's a decent carrier count. There's 5. There's 5 aren't together, but he has reset Dandy's army. Meanwhile, Dandy taking top left. What am I watching? Is this a Zerg player?
Wait.
But yeah, what just happened?
Okay, so Dandy has a total of 3 tanks right now. Huh. Well, I think these carriers are actually going to be fantastic here. If he can get all 5 together, then yeah, he needs to maybe regroup the shuttle as well and not overextend at this point. Maybe one great thing to do would just be send zealots to every base on the map and try to take out these corner bases. If you can take those out, then you're actually not in a totally bad spot.
Yeah, carriers are really good on this map if you can abuse the ledges like where his carriers are right now.
Yeah?
But he needs to buy more time. He needs to get 2 more carriers out at least, I think. Dandy's econ is just huge. He's taking bottom middle. That's a good start for him. I don't think there's enough carriers to shut down top. Well, there might be if Dandy's just going to counterattack. If Dandy counterattacks and this doesn't work, sure, Dandy's still going to be on 4 base, but the carrier count is going to remain high, and there's a real threat of TT1 wiping out. Oh, wow, he's not going to kill top middle. He realizes the threat here. He's got to turn around. Or not.
Just kidding. He is actually going to commit to killing top middle. I definitely think turning around would have been the respect play, right? But instead, he's going to try to kill top middle, then he's going to try to kill the third. And if he loses his own third in the meantime, I don't know if that was worth it.
Yeah, see, this is similar to the Yeti game where if TT1 wipes out these 2 bases, well, carrier goes down there, so that's a huge loss. But if he wiped out those 2 bases, TT1 thinks he's in a good spot because it's 2 base versus 2 base. But we see it's still 4 base for Dandy even after losing those 2 bases.
Yeah, he's killing off SCVs. Uh-oh, Dandy's got infinity SCVs off of 1 million command centers. So losing that Nexus was by far the bigger blow. And he still has to kill off this Terran Force. Does he have Zealots in the shuttle? No. So he's just going to be killing these tanks with Dragoons or not.
Yeah, TT1 can't even kill the ground army, so he wiped the 3rd Nexus, the 4th Nexus completed, and that's going to get wiped. Meanwhile, there's only 4 carriers now. There's not a lot of Goliaths, but it doesn't matter when you've got 10 factories. You can just make infinity Goliaths.
Yeah.
Look at the supplies, 150 to 70. It's over at this point. There's just nothing for TT1. And Dandy's going to go up 1-0.
Yeah, I think like if we had seen the carriers pull back, save the 3rd base, obviously it's still hard but doable. Yeah, that would be much more solid position for TT1 to be in. But tried to do the damage, couldn't make it happen, and now he, sure, maybe he cleans up this army, but the macro is just insane from Danny. He's gonna have twice as big an army reproduced back at home.
Yeah, so unfortunately for TT1, despite having a really good opener, Dandy managed to bring it back. The scan timing was perfect for Dandy. Seeing the cybernetics core spinning, he still had a decent enough tank count to move out, which was surprising because I thought TT1 was going to shut it down, and that would have been catastrophic. But it ended up working out, and now Dandy's on his death march. It's only a matter of time until TT1 is out of this game. Look at the natural. There's just no minerals. There's no hope at this point.
Yeah, TT1's basically not mining at this point. So got to do it with this, and of course, once again, interceptors cost money, so he's not really going to be able to produce those for much longer. He's got like less than 100 minerals, so these interceptors, once they die, they are dead. And actually, look at that, he's going to pick up another carrier. Oh man, Dandy is just crushing this, and this is going to be the end of TT1. A solid 20-minute game, but that 2-base carrier really did not pay off for TT1.
Yeah, I'm surprised he went for that. Well, I'm not that surprised, but unfortunately for TT1, it did not work out. I don't know. It was a nice strategy, but I just don't know how Danny makes these attacks work. Because whenever I try it, I just get smashed.
To be fair, I definitely thought Danny was going to smash TT1 with that big push out towards the middle of the map. Yeah. And TT1 steamrolled it. I'm just like, man, how good a race is Protoss, man. They're just really, they just got it, man. Those gateways, they make good units. So very, very well played, I think, on both sides at moments. But Dandy, like, it feels like he has the force of inevitability on his side, just so solid, really hard to keep him down. And so that starts him off with a 1-0 victory. I think that means we're moving on to blockchain for our second map. So this is going to be kind of cool to watch. Definitely a map that is strange enough for TT1 to be able to pull out something surprising.
Yeah, both players can pull out interesting builds on here. A new map, not a lot of play so far. We've only seen a few games in ASL, maybe like 10 or so total. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited to see what both of these players are going to pull out.
Yeah, blockchain is a very flat map. It has the kind of cool features of some island bases. It has like those Troy-like aspects where you try to like break through off on the sides and take like an overground pathway to your opponent's base. I don't know. I still haven't figured out exactly what you want to do, but it plays a little bit like Outsider in the idea that the maps are spread out with walls in between on the edges, but there's no inner bases. There's just that one in the middle. So I don't know. Let's find out. I am ready to go with game number 2 if you are.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, well then without further ado, let's get into game number 2 of our winner's match. The winner of this series will advance on to the next round. Okay, well here we are. This is game number 2. Danny up 1-0 and spawning in the upper left-hand corner in the purple.
And in the bottom right, got the red Protoss TT1. Yeah, so this map, as a Terran player, I hate it. There's essentially a free base at one of the middle bases for Protoss. We see 12 Nexus in ASL often, about 50-50. Sometimes it depends on the player. If it's a harassment-based player, like JYJ, I don't think you can go for 12 Nexus, but Dandy doesn't seem to be like a drop player, so I would hope that TT1 goes for a 12 Nexus. And I don't know, it's just so hard for Terran to get a third base on here because, like you were talking about, those assimilators and those eggs, it's Troy-esque, where you can go Reavers, shut down third base, you can go Carriers, you can go Arbiters, shut down third base. So because of that, we've seen Flash actually re-innovate a 2-base 2-1, where it hits extremely fast, like 1130, and he just goes for the kill, and then he doubles expands off of that. So potentially we might see that coming out from Dandy. And there is TT1. We got floated minerals, so this is definitely going to be a 12 Nexus at that unkillable base that I'm talking about.
No, you called it, Nyokin. This is something, every time you see 12 Nexus be viable at a pro level, that's how you know it's good. Because we've seen plenty of pros like try this strat over and over again, and it almost went extinct because of how good Terran players got at just killing it. But you can't do this here. You just get the base for free, and that is going to start you off in a fantastic spot. You don't need a wall or anything crazy. You just get it. So for Dandy, I wonder if he is going to go for that aggressive kind of flash style play, because we know how strong his macro is. Maybe he just lets TT1 have this advantage and says, look, I'm going to play more standard because I know that is where he is the strongest. I don't know.
Yeah, Dandy, he is going to let him have it because we got a gasless expand. He is not going to get a first scout off. Even if he did, he can't punish it. But what is TT1's going to follow-up going to be? Because he's most likely going to see the gasless expand. He may go for a fast third base, but that could be pretty dangerous, like I said, because of how fast Dandy has been hitting and how strong these timings that Flash has been showing us. I am curious to see what TT1's opener is going to be. I would like Reaver, just because of how abusive Reaver is, in my opinion, on maps like this. That's what I would like.
Yeah, there's like the cheap version of that where you don't get the Reavers, but you just drop Dragoons by the mineral lines at like the third. You can, or right over the assimilators, and you can kind of poke in and out there. But yeah, Reavers, great way to go on this map. You can put them on the high ground and hit the Nexus. It just gets really out of control. So catching the probes nice there at the front though for Dandy. So he's gonna block any scouting for a while.
Yeah, in this bunker, it's pretty far ahead of the command center. A lot of times when Terrans put a bunker this far ahead, it's to fake that you're going a command center. Now, we see there is a command center, but I don't think the probe was in range to see it. So this might trigger TT1 to play more passive than he wants to. And we'll have to wait and see what's his response going to be, because we already see one gate. Every time I see a Protoss go 12 Nexus with one gate, I want to kill him. Like, getting away with murder here, man. I hate you.
Yeah, it's like that scene from Breaking Bad where Jesse's just really frustrated. He's like, he can't keep getting away with it because it's you shouldn't be able to get away with this. It's like, what are attacking units? TT1 doesn't know. How many attacking units does he have? He has 2 zealots. Sick, man. You're really holding on there. You're crushing it. Uh, so he is gonna send those 2 zealots out just to try to pressure the front door, keep Dandy honest. But behind that, he is being about the most dishonest you can imagine. Just macroing out of control, getting a robo up, and I do want to see Reavers out of him.
This is most likely going to be a run by. Oh, no, it's not. There's only 2 Marines. He should notice that his Zealots didn't lose that much health. But regardless, he did not send them just yet. That is a fast robotics. For 12 Nexus, that's a fast robotics. In normal game, that's a standard timing. But because of this, it's most likely going to be Reaver play. Now, again, TT1, he did get his second gas pretty well. It's 5 minutes. It's not as fast, but so I don't think this is gonna be carriers this time. But I would bet that this is definitely gonna be a Reaver.
Yep, great map for Reaver and excuse me, for TT1. He's just got all the time in the world. He's actually, strangely enough, not mining from that second gas. Okay, now he's just gonna start to mine from it. But yeah, getting the obs for safety, but should see a Reaver after that. I mean, if he did want to go like 3-base carrier, you could absolutely do that on this map just because of how hard it can be to get up and down all the ramps through all of the blockers. That could be good.
Yeah,
but yeah, I agree. Reaver's way better.
Reaver into carrier or just straight carrier or arbiters, all those units are just so good on here because of all those ledges and then the eggs and the assimilators. And then also, if you kill the assimilators, now you can't even reinforce the third base. It's just so punishing, this map, for a third base for Terran, unless you take another main, which is what we've seen often when Terran players play on this map, is they don't even take one of the middle bases. Now, this response from TT1, he did go 2-gate observer. It's going to be a good counter to what Dandy's doing because he's going for a vulture drop. Now, this Stargate that TT1's pulling out, this is in a pretty sneaky position. This has got to be carriers again. And once he sees the dropship play come in, as long as he can shut it down reasonably well, I think he's going to be in a fantastic spot. Because unlike last game, Dandy got a huge tank count and then could push out. Whereas if we're looking at the tank count now, it's non-existent. Oh no, the vulture snuck in.
Really? Really? Okay, well, as long as these mines... Okay, one of the mines actually does go off, so maybe there's an opportunity to take that Dragoon out and keep dealing damage, but I think the probes are just going to be hemorrhaging. Oh my god, this is...
Yeah, but there's also a drop to bottom middle pretty soon. Any second now. It's almost there. Oh, please send the drop to bottom middle.
Stop. There's nothing... okay, yeah, there's nothing keeping this dropship out. It can just go, but it stopped. Okay, well, that's a little awkward.
Yeah,
hey, still tons of damage done in the main.
Yeah, he got tons of probes. He also scouted the Stargate. So again, everything just going wrong for TT1 so far. And this has triggered more factory play from Dandy. 4 fact coming up, 5, potentially 6 fact. It's going to be another timing. But luckily this time, TT1 is going to shut down this drop pretty well. And also he sees all the factories going up with this observer.
Yeah, so it's not going to be a mystery. It might still be hard to stop. But again, TT1's taking a ton of damage from these vultures. So many probes going down. This last vulture is still going to get maybe the last bonus probe. It does. And wow, that's... it feels like a lot to invest. And then you remember that these are vultures. And that they are basically free and have a build time of 0.
Yes. They have a build time of 0. That's what everybody tells me. Most imbalanced unit. Did you also know that each mine costs 100 minerals and 100 gas? Oh wait, that's wrong. It's a one-time upgrade, and then every vulture gets it. So that's nice. Mini nuke. There's a very old thread that In Control made or responded to about how imbalanced the vulture is. I wish I could link it in the chat, but hilarious about how imba the vulture is. But oh, I am so worried for TT1. This 12 Nexus, it was a great opener, but one of the side effects about taking this middle base that I didn't realize is that normally when you take a 12 Nexus, you're just defending your Nat, right? Because nothing really can get in to the main often, and most of the time people don't go drop. But on this map, you have to overbuild Dragoons to defend the third base and your main at the same time because of how prevalent drops are. So despite getting a lead in economy with the 12 Nexus, you have to just overbuild units in the early game. And because of that, he's getting punished for that.
Yeah. Also, it means that your surface area is just so vast. You really, really do have to cover a lot of ground. And yeah, you got to build the units to do that. So, excuse me, here comes this push. These zealots are just going to evaporate instantly. And if these siege tanks get into position, how are you trying to break this? Like, it's natural, it's just going to explode.
Yeah, carriers are here. And look, he just moved his Dragoons from the mid base. And now Vultures drop into the bottom middle. So we're shutting down the Nat. We're shutting down bottom middle. Those Dragoons that went to the natural, they're not even there now. They're going to have to save bottom middle.
Yeah.
Oh, this is just a disaster.
We've doubled our number of interceptors from 1 to 2, Nyoken. So, yeah, we're crushing it, man. They can't fight back. They can't shoot up. So the interceptors, now 3 interceptors. My God.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh. Every single game, Dandy has just done this sick timing. It just catches all these Protoss players off guard. They just don't have enough. Now, this time, TT1, well, I was going to say he has a decent econ, but I look at the Nat, or the bottom middle. There's nothing mining, and he's got to do another full probe transfer. But he does have 4 carriers pretty soon. If he can get up to 6, that could save him, because it's not like Dandy has 4 bases this time. He's all in on 2 base on 6 fact, and he doesn't have good upgrades. Where's his armory? He has +1, which is not that good versus carriers.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be able to hold off against the next push, and I think he's also going to have to face the exact same thing that he did last time, where he's trying to hold on, but he gets dropped at the same time and loses a bunch of probes. So TT1 is just really hurting on all fronts. I do like that there is sweet justice in getting that 12 next and having it kind of come back to bite him by losing so much of his economy from drops there over and over again. But he might just like straight up lose the game with his next push, because now there's tons of Goliaths there to protect the siege tanks. There's even more tanks this time than there were last time. There's even less ground units to stop them.
And now we do have 4 carriers, which is pretty good. The Goliath count is 10 or 11. Wow, it's actually triggering Dandy to turn around. He forced to cancel on the Nexus, I think, and he's decided that's enough. But this is giving TT1 time to get 6 carriers, which is the critical mass number. But I wish I could see what his upgrades are. So he does have +1 weapon on his carriers. That's not bad. And he'll get +2 pretty soon. But it does come down to, oh, he can't shred in. He can't lose these interceptors. He can't do it.
Oh, he is. Scan's going to make sure that those carriers can't hide on the high ground off to the south. And are we going to see another drop come into the southern base? Oh, actually, Dandy's expanding to the bottom left-hand corner. What? Okay. All right. Cool. Good job dealing with the carriers, holding them off. The tanks are still doing a great job crushing down that natural. Nexus is about halfway built, but I don't know if it's going to finish there, Nyoken.
No, it's got to get canceled. There it is. And this is just great Goliath control. A lot of times your Goliath would bug fighting over ledges like this. So Dandy's control really on point. And look, you just check every carrier. He's got 5 interceptors queued up in like every single one. I don't think I've even seen a Goliath die at this point. So these carriers are not working out for him. Meanwhile, look at the huge purple line coming from Dandy's base. And it's just all tanks and Goliaths. There's not even any vultures mixed in here. So his ground army flat out can't die.
Yeah, no, there's nothing that can kill this. You can't kill it with air units. You can't kill it with ground units. Like, you just can't kill it, period. And Dandy doesn't even necessarily need to push into the main and maybe risk overextending. TT1's going to have like this one last shot, this one opportunity. Use finally the amassed 6 carriers to try to bust out. But there's just not enough interceptors, too many Goliaths, and yeah, Dandy just killing it.
So Dandy putting on a show today. He's going to take out TT1 2-0 unless TT1 has a miraculous fight like last game. But that just isn't the case. We've got 3 Dragoons versus 7 tanks, about 15 Goliaths at this point. None of the carriers have almost any interceptors. Like you said, Dandy doesn't even have to push in here anymore. He's killed both of the Stargates, so we can't make any more carriers at this point. He can just sit here and let TT1 mine out.
He also double expanded behind this and got his 3rd and 4th bases up. So, what are you gonna do? He's gonna have, like I said earlier, more Goliaths than you have interceptors. I don't know. I don't like that Dandy is still trying to push up here. He is kind of getting picked down, whittled down a little bit. He's going to take out a carrier, so that's nice. And it's going to do it in the end. GG. TT1 taps out, and Dandy will take a 2-0 to advance out